So, welcome everyone for the first seminar of Aspire for Impact. This is our second year holding this project, and we're super excited at 6429. And in this first seminar, we'll be talking upon FRC, grants, and keeping in touch with financial supporters within the collaboration of six other Impact Award finalist teams worldwide. And we have 1511 Rolling Thunder, 3990 Tech for Kids, 5614 Steam Sycamore, 6429 Fourth Dimension, 6652 Tigris, 6865 Mountain Middle. So, as you guys know, we are going to be holding this seminar every Sunday, 2 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. UTC. And just a quick reminder is that these meetings will be recorded, but your personal information will not be recorded unless you ask any questions through the chat or if you turn on your mic and ask any questions. And these seminars will be shared on our social media accounts such as YouTube and Instagram and etc. But no participant name will be displayed. Speaking of questions, feel free to ask any. We are here to guide you, so don't hesitate to ask any questions in your mind. And let's hear from today's presenter teams. I'm Jaren from 6429 Fourth Dimension, and our team is 2022 and 2024 finalist team.
And I'm Dylan from 6865, and our team is a finalist in 2023.
I'm lead mentor for 6865, Yana Bauer, and I'm happy to be here.
So let's take a look at our today's agenda. We have grants and sponsorships, developing partnerships, reaching out to potential sponsors and partners. Last but not least, maintaining communication with supporters. And let's start off with grants and sponsorships, presented by Fourth Dimension, my teammate Öykü.
Hello, so I'm going to be starting with types of sponsorships. We have three types: financial, robot components and manufacturing helping, and project collaboration. So in the financial sponsorship, they usually provide us with financial support, and the sponsoring company or candidate individual can contribute any amount they desire. It depends on their budget, and we have no maximum or minimum supporting amount. We use this financial supporting to buy Lego kits, lab supplies, etc. And if we come to robot components and manufacturing, they support us with necessary components for a robot or assist in producing the parts required for us to build the robot. And in the last one, project collaboration, we generate project ideas together, or they help bring an already existing project idea to life. They can provide the venue, contents, etc. for the projects. And how can we find these sponsorships? It is important that we share the same mission and the vision with the sponsor candidates so that we can both benefit and speed up the process and go with the path. So yeah, that's it for the sponsorship types. And in grant applications, every company usually has a different criteria. The application should be written with these criteria in mind. Each company also focuses on different features of the teams, and whether we meet these criteria is important to look at. And the other thing is early application is really important because most companies have a strategy called like first to apply, first gets the budgets, and it's their distribution method. And as I already talked about in the sponsorship slides, sharing our vision is really important. Then applying for grants, our aim must be similar with the mission and the vision of the company we're applying to. And lastly, financial overview. This is after receiving a grant, the funding will be discussed with our mentor and the departments based on their needs in our team. However, some companies require that the funding must only be used for the regional or the championship fees. So it must be in the criteria if you take a look at. That's, yeah, it's.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about some building partnerships. So for our team especially, we kind of rely on sponsors and partnerships to kind of be sustainable and survive. So like getting partnerships engages our community with our team, and once we do that, they kind of want to like help our team more. So it's really important to get these partnerships. I'm going to show you guys a little bit about some creative partnerships we've done and how you might be able to get them. So next slide. So there's tons of different ways that you can get like a creative partnership with companies. Normally, a partnership is when you do something for a company and they give you something back, sometimes money, sometimes parts for your robot. So some of the things we do, and keep in mind, we're from like 2 hours away from civilization, so it's like kind of hard. So we partner with a lot of local companies. Firstly, we have like Bear Sushi. It's a local sushi place. So we advertise for them on all of our social media pages, and we get we did a couple nights, so we made over $1,000 for each sushi night. It could because we got 10% of the proceeds. So by us advertising for them, they get more customers and they give us some of the money back. For R&R Eats and Treats, it was kind of the same thing. We advertised for them, and then I think they gave us all of their profits for one day, which was amazing. And we made, I think, around $300 or something like that. For other companies, it's sometimes hard for them to like give you a monetary donation right off the bat. So with Doer Farm soaps, they didn't have enough to give us like a monetary donation. So what they did was they would give us $2 off every bar of soap they sold. So again, we advertised for them on all of our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, just to get it out there. And then we made a bunch of money from that. And then our biggest one that I think we've done was the Lions Club Golf Tournament. And that one was partnered with a local organization called the Lions Club, and they just did a bunch of events around our community. So we advertised again, and we worked as volunteers during the golf tournament. And we ended up raising over $13,000 for our team just in that one event. And that's between like a mission and 50-50 tickets. So these partnerships can be really, really impactful for your team. So now go on to the next slide. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about like how you're gonna actually get in contact with these sponsors and partners, because it can seem like a little daunting to approach these teams, but there's a couple different ways, and different situations will call for different techniques, but we've got 4 here. So firstly is cold calls. So that's like calling a business who you don't know them, they don't know you. So during this call, you're going to explain all about your team and what they need. And this is kind of like quantity over quality. It still needs to be good, but you want to reach as many people as possible just to get it out, just to get that information out there. And so they're more likely to give you something. It can be pretty awkward to do this just because you're calling someone you don't know. So training your team members to do this is a really good idea so they're prepared. So at least they know enough about your team. For emails, again, it's kind of the same thing. Normally, they don't know you and you don't know them. Um, and again, in this email, make sure to explain all about your team and what kind of financial or different aids you need. So the good thing about emails is you could just send these out like to a bunch of businesses. Like I think we've done something like 20 businesses in one go, just send them out. And it's not effective most of the time because a lot of time it can go to like junk mail and things like that. But it's still a good way to reach a lot of people at once. One of the things our team does that's really interesting is we do sponsorship letters. Sorry about that. So we create like a formal sponsorship letter requesting financial aid from a business. I'm just going to move away from that. And in this letter, be sure to like add a place where they can contact you. And again, tell them what you need, what your team does, and kind of what robotics is in the first place. Because a lot of these businesses won't even know. And it's better to hand these in person to a person in management, just to add that personal effect to them. And lastly, in person, you kind of just walk into the business and then ask to see someone in management, and then talk about your team, tell them what you need. And this normally works the best because people like hearing from people more than computers. So this is probably the best one to do it. All right, and then next slide. Okay, so a lot of teams, it might be like difficult to figure out where to begin to actually who to approach and who not to approach, and where to find people. So the best way to find sponsors is by harnessing your team network. So that's using people from your teams and their connections to find other people who might support you. So family is like ask all your team members if their families might know anyone who's willing to sponsor them. These families would be able to reach out to them and then get you in contact with them so you can kind of talk. Because again, your families probably won't know as much about the team as you, but they can introduce you. Mentors, they have a lot of your mentors will have much more business connections than other team members, especially for like if they're like a build mentor like that, they'll have like a connections to actual manufacturing places and things like that sometimes. So they can get you lots of useful sponsors. If possible, get that mentor to introduce one of your team members, because even though they might be have previous connections with the company, it's better if like a team member actually talks to them, because they're more likely to hear from younger people and people are actually on the team. And lastly, we have employers. This is a funny story about me. I worked at this coffee shop and I was a little scared to go and ask my boss if they wanted to sponsor us. So I got someone else from our team and they went and approached them. And that made us, I think, over the past 3 years, over $500, which is awesome. So employers are great because these businesses are much, much more likely to actually sponsor you if they know someone from your team. And so now that we have a place to start and we know where to find these sponsors and we've connected with them, we'll need to maintain these sponsors, which I'll pass it over back to you.
So as Dylan said, maintaining the sponsorships is another significant point that we should pay attention to. So we will talk about it a bit more now. So how do we maintain this kind of communication? So first of all, we have this thing called keep up meetings, where we keep our sponsors updated and and we show our progress, like what events have we done, what have we succeeded, like if we attend any like off-season events or like even like regional events, what we have done and our robot's condition. Like we have to like keep them updated and we have to like keep them informed all of this about all of this progress, so that they can like know what they have been like making their investments into, and like uh just to, like keep a have a, like a little chit chat about like FRC and our team situation. So second of all, we have engaging them in team events. So as 4D, we have like many team events, like traditional ones and like events as like projects. So we like to keep our sponsors and like supporters involved in this kind of events. For example, if we're going to hold a like face-to-face seminar, we would like to invite them as a speaker or like even just an out even for them to be an audience. We have to like to keep the communication active. So third of all, we of course use our social media accounts to announce our sponsors and to show how grateful we are today. Like if it doesn't matter if it's like a robot part sponsorship or like if it is a financial sponsorship, it doesn't matter. We have to show how grateful we are today for their support to our team. And third of all, for the fourth, we have end of season appreciation. So we like to have a, like a little meeting with them to end of the season to show our accomplishments and what we have learned throughout the season and to share like a seasonal journey. We sometimes film this video and send them as a, like a thank you code and like send you can send some like flowers and like chocolate and stuff, just like little gifts for them. And then we film this video where we talk about the projects that we have done in that season specifically, and what was our ranking and the robot matches, and what we have done in the championships, our networks and stuff, and etc. So these are like good ways to maintain your communication within your supporters. So while we maintain this communication, how do we actually communicate with them? What are like the active ways to keep the communication efficient? So we would like to collaborate with them on our educational projects. What I mean educational projects is that, for example, you can give education with Lego kits to build up some robotic systems with elementary school students, right? So our grant provider is Gene Haas, and we were inspired by their work, and we know that many elementary school students are really interested about like racing cars. Even the thought of it makes them like really excited. So we were excited by the great work that the engineers of the greenhouse had done, and we wanted to execute this project called Gene Has Lego Car Racing Event, where we teach elementary school students how to build their own racing cars and race them within the Lego robotic kits. So we actually collaborated with them on this project and show the appreciation for their support to our team. And then we have sponsorships posters that where we present in many events from regionals to like random events pits. We have this poster that we carry around and we present it to our visitors in our pits while we're making our team's presentation. And so there are many times our team has been on press, even like on another social media accounts. And while they take the photo of us, you can see the sponsorship poster behind us. So that way you can increase the visibility of that company, or like your financial supporters' visibility in that way. And then we can always have like question and answer events. Let's say that you have a financial supporter, which is a company, which is a like a artificial intelligence company, let's say. And many of us as high school students, many of us are actually interested in AI and like the future career paths upon AI. And you would like to ask some questions to the experts, right? So if your support your company, it's an IT technologies like company. You can always have some like question and answer events, even if it's online or face to face. You can like get to know about a specific career path, and like you can exchange some experience with on those experts. And then the other thing is that social media posts, as I said, is an efficient way to increase the company's visibility on digital environment. And that was all for today's seminar. We will have the question and answer part. So I will stop the recording to make it more comfortable for our audience, and I will stop the screen share.